I remember Frank Gatson calling me saying, "Who did that to her hair?" I was just like, ah.
Welcome back to Stories in Style. I'm Atiba Newsome, sitting down once again with fashion stylist, costume designer, mentor, and the true visionary, Eric Archibald. Picking up right where we left off. If you're just joining us, welcome. Let's get into it. Who's been your favorite client to work with and why? And I'm talking about throughout your whole entire career. Like, who's been your favorite person to work with?
I can't say I have one favorite now, but I love working with Missy. I love the evolution of Missy.
Mm-hmm.
I love what we did with Buster.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love the fact that we were there to inception of the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, okay.
June and I were the first one to style them.
What was it like working with Kirstie Alley, the late, great Kirstie Alley?
Kirstie Alley was a hoot. She was just so fun and bubbly. She cussed like a sailor. I had a great time dressing her because she really loved having fun with fashion. You know, she loved the way we played around with mixing prints and playing with a lot of flirtiness when it comes to skirts and tops. And she just brought a really fun energy, when you are in her presence. She was always talking about who she is going to date and who she loves. It was refreshing for me to work with someone of that caliber, knowing her history. We started out with Jenny Craig, did a lot of Jenny Craig commercials, and they were fun. They were more refined because advertising, they wanted her more sleek and tailored. And we had a really good time doing those commercials. We spent a lot of money on clothes, lots of money on clothes. And the snacks were good. The Jenny Craig snacks were good.
You know what's funny? The other day I was walking down Stratford's Row, and every time I walk down Stratford's Row, I think about the Faith Evans, Carl Thomas video that we did.
Every time I'm driving over the Queensbridge and I see the gondola going over the bridge, I remember how early that call time was. It was super early. I'm still mad about it. I remember how the one thing that really sticks out to me is Stella McCartney was just appointed creative director at Chloe. And you know how we are. When something is hot and we love it, we are determined to put her in that pineapple shirt in that window. And I remember the director was very kind about it. They hated it.
He hated the shirt.
But we did not give two shits. It was Stella McCartney. It was her first collection at Chloe. That shirt was going in that window.
And it's still a sick look to this day. What a classic, beautiful video.
Yeah, and I also remember Carl Thomas running off with all the clothes.
As usual.
I remember being up in Harlem. We started down on 60th Street because we had to shoot them going over the bridge. But they looked super cool. They looked like there was something out of the 70s, and overcoats and like Dolce pageboy hats. And then we got to that shirt and everything went downhill.
Yeah. But always being on our side, Faith always had our back with whatever we wanted to do. Because she wanted to wear it, like it was done. Right now, you're still working with LL Cool J.
Yes.
Did you work with him back in the day?
Yeah, I worked with him when Wendell Haskins styled him. I was Wendell's assistant, and we shot him for a couple of videos. I think it was Around the Way Girl. Hype Williams shot that video.
You assisted Wendell Haskins?
Yeah, I did.
Was this during June in the Mod Squad?
Yes, I assisted a lot of people. I assisted Derek Lee. That's how I landed
That's
Aaliyah.
how you got Aaliyah. Yeah.
I had no problem assisting. And I will still assist today if someone needed my help. I can help them out,
Like with Marni for Beyoncé?
Yes.
Talk about your relationship with Marni.
So legendary, such a visionary, so inspiring to see her work, Marni and I are like brother and sister, I think when I work with her, I'm able to complete her in a way where I bring the calm. And she's always like, Erica, how come you're always so calm? I'm always in awe of her vision and the way she always pushes the envelope to always go left when everyone's going right, you know?
What was the first Beyonce job you or worked with her on?
First Beyonce job was Formation. We were doing the Formation. What a lot of people really don't know, it's like Formation, like all the content, videos, and everything that we did in the beginning. My house was like the office for all of it.
The Beverly Hills apartment?
No, honey, Lenox Avenue.
In Harlem?
Yes. Yes.
Wait a minute. That was home base.
That was home base, yes. I had assistants running in it. We were shooting all these different videos. And like any great superstar, when you're working on a project, you never know what it's going to turn into.
Was that the Lemonade Project?
Yes.
I remember now. Okay. Yeah, that was fire. You guys were shooting all those videos.
All those videos. We went into all those videos and we went right into tour.
Speaking of tours, let's talk about Beyonce's latest tour with Shiona. What did you think about that?
I love Beyonce. I loved the tour. I actually saw it and I was blown away. It was fantastic. From her performing, her content, lighting on stage, and just being a pure performer. She was brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Did you ever assist Charlene?
Yeah, with Charlene. First of all, I met Charlene at Pacciotti in Beverly Hills. I went and did a pull shoots for the Isley Brothers. The Isley Brothers, I
Okay,
did.
wait a minute.
What?
Isley Brothers? For what?
When I left June, I got the opportunity to style a Isley Brothers music video with Garcelle, continuation of the R. Kelly Sleeping in the Closet.
Garcelle was the leading lady in that video.
Yeah. And she wore like a seafoam blue Richard Tyler suit. Remember the designer Richard Tyler?
Wow, you just took me back. Okay, so back to you meeting Charlene Roxborough at Pacciotti.
Backstory is we were in LA shooting Will Smith, Getting Jiggy with It, and Busta Rhymes. I don't remember what video was it, but we had all these videos that we were shooting. Main reason Will Smith was the biggest video at the time because we got thrown that project and we had to create all these costumes in days. And I went in Pacciotti and Charlene was there and she let me pull shoes and we found that we were both West Indian. That we became instantly. Yeah, she worked there.
Okay.
Instantly brothers and sisters. And I asked if she wanted to assist us on a couple of jobs and she said yes. And her and June prepped a lot of Will Smith's outfits. Yeah. While I handled the costume part, I was up in the Stokes creating like the Egyptian outfit, Will Smith with all the floral print all over it, you know, dancing with the Polynesian dancers. And they did like the fashion stuff, you know, like the Valentino outfits, the Gucci outfits, all that stuff. But Charlene came to work with us. She assisted me with Puffy when I did the whole 1930s thing with Puffy and it's Savion Glover at the BT Awards with Lil' Kim coming out of the car.
Didn't she help you prep for the Bad Boy Tour as well?
She sure did. She sure did. Don't remind me of the Bad Boy Tour. I still have panic attack from the Bad Boy Tour.
Why?
Because I knew nothing about quick changes and I was backstage trying to change Puffy. Nothing was organized. We weren't the most organized bunch, you know that. We were fashion kids. Now being a costume designer, I realize how organization and being detailed and how things should be tagged. But I'm backstage changing Puffy and pyros are going off and Puffy literally had to scream at me and say, "What the fuck? Are you going out there to perform or is it me? Relax." And he was right. He put me right back together. The next day I quit the tour, right? And then as I was driving back to New York from Albany, I got a phone call. He was like, "Gucci, you just gonna quit on me like that? You gonna quit on me like that?" I was like, "I can't do this."
Wait a minute. So you quit the tour?
I quit the tour.
Okay, wait a minute. So basically, you quit on June because June was a key stylist.
I sure did. I quit. Yeah.
Who did she send out in place of you?
I don't know who they sent out beside me, but I know right after that, that's when Andrew Lieberman came in, all the other stylists, you know?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when you were first working with Usher and you were saying that he has a girlfriend, but I can't tell you who it is. He has a girlfriend in the video too, and I have to dress her.
Did I tell you that? I didn't tell you.
You did not tell me. You didn't tell me.
I was in Atlanta doing a photo shoot for Usher at the same time prepping his European tour. Here we go. Tours. I think that's why I'm like so meticulous in this moment. I want everything to be so on point because my experiences with tour has just been like, you work 24 hours and you still feel like you're not gaining any ground until the show actually happens. I was in prepping Usher's tour and doing a photo shoot because Usher likes clothes and he loves to perform and he loves photo shoot. He likes content. And I was reshooting his album cover because so many had tried and really did not hit the mark. And I came in and fixed it.
Also, that was not the first attempt at a photo shoot.
No, it wasn't. You remember the photos? He had the Gucci scarf around his head and all this other shit.
The photo shoot was a fail and they brought you in.
Yeah.
I remember that. Wow.
Do the cleanup job.
Yeah, but the cleanup jobs are the worst because you feel bad, but
I don't, because you never want to be the first attempt, you know?
never.
You never want to be the first because somebody's always going to come in and steal the shine.
But I remember you were in Dolce pulling.
Yeah, he wore a lot of Dolce, like the Dolce linen shirt with like the gold crystals on it, Dolce ripped up jeans.
You put chili in Dolce as well, right?
I did not put Jillian and Dolce. Jillian Harris did, but she really followed what we were doing with Usher. Usher had on suede pants with the crystals all over it in one scene. Everything was done with a wife beater. Remember, we started that whole thing. We would go to clubs. We'll see people in like the knitted kufi and durag. That came from Gerard McLaren.
Yes, I remember he was doing that first.
Gerard was doing that first. And I was like, oh, we're going to put that on Usher. And then we would go to every club and lesbian, straight guys all had on fucking durag, I don't knitted kufi. It was like, wow, it's amazing how, you know, style from artists transcend into just culture. And I was there shooting him. And then Tamika Foster, who's a friend, showed up and was like, you here in Atlanta taking food out of my mouth? In a matter of a week, she was Usher's new stylist.
And then ended up being his wife.
Exactly. Exactly.
Have you ever had a red carpet moment that you felt was a fail or you felt could have been done better?
I've had many red carpet moments that I felt that was great, but at the same time, I'm a hard judge of myself, you know? I'm always thinking something could be better, something could have been tailored better, something could have been longer, you know? But there's not one thing I can point out where I thought that was, honestly speaking, was perfect. We as creative, I know for myself, we're just so hard on ourselves. You know, we are so hard on ourselves. And, you know, it takes a lot of people to tell us that something is great, as you know, and then we're still thinking, I could have still did this differently. I could have done this differently, you know. But as I look out in the world, you know, I mean, Jennifer Hudson, when she wore that lemon colored dress at the Oscars, I thought was one of the best moments for me because no one was wearing that color. And after she wore that color exploded, you know, to like 2 Oscars after that. I thought Jennifer Hudson also at the Oscars in the orange cavalli would have been an excellent look because of tailoring and fit, but the hair just threw me off. I wanted a low ponytail in the back, and when she came out of there, she came out there with prom hair, and I am still devastated. And then the one drop curl that she decided to drop in the back, so I was just like devastated. I remember Frank Gatson calling me saying, who did that to her hair? And I was just like, ah!
Tell me if I'm working with Tyra Banks on Dancing with the Stars.
Working with Tyra Banks and Dancing with the Stars was like, it was a dream because I loved Tyra. I dressed her before for the Golden Globes. And I'd also, true story, I was the costume designer for her pilot before her show got signed. Yeah, and I was a little bit, I didn't get to style the show, but it's all good. I got to do her for Dancing with the Stars for 2 seasons, and we were unapologetic about what she wore, and she didn't care, and we didn't care. And we put a lot of work into those costumes. So they came out, and all those quick changes, people didn't take lightly to it, you know?
No, the press was quite cruel.
Quite cruel, yeah. But Tyra would show up to work the next week and go, did you see all that press? I loved it. I loved that about her because she didn't give 2 shits. As long as she was happy, it was all good.
Well, speaking of looks that the trolls like to get on, let's talk about when they go crazy over your looks, like when you work with Remy Ma in the Dolce outfit. I remember social media going crazy over that.
Remy Ma has a really good sense of style, and she's just developed into this like hip hop glamazon, if I might add, over the last couple of years. And she loves fashion. And we had spoken, and she said she was like, someone was trying to give her this Dolce & Gabbana like vinyl leopard suit in yellow, and I was like, oh, don't worry about that. I have all that stuff at my house because I have a really good relationship with Dolce & Gabbana that I've cultivated over the years. And I called the showroom, got most of the pieces from there. We bought a few pieces from the store, like the boots and the shorts, and she came and fit it and loved it, and it looked incredible on her. It was so sick that there was someone else who wore the same outfit after she wore it. Yeah,
I remember.
And it's just good to see that style has no boundaries, and she can wear anything, and that outfit really just like solidified like who she is, the artist she is. She's one of hip hop's best, and she just looked insane in the outfit.
Can you talk about some of the challenges you face when dressing curvier women, plus size women? Like curvy girls like Meg and women like Jennifer Hudson, and also the actress Devine.
Let me start by saying this, okay? If you're a creative and you're a stylist, whether the girl is a size 2 or a 22 or full figure plus size, there really shouldn't be any challenges if you're really great at your job, Because a girl that's a size 2 can sometimes be the most difficult client to dress. Once you pour your heart and soul into a project, that's what you give each client. I'm not going to separate one girl size from another girl size. Each client is just as important for me.
When you guys styled Kelly Price back in the day, you and Joan, back then it was even tougher.
You keep saying it was tougher. We designed every piece Kelly wore. It was fun to do. What I'm saying is like, don't matter the size of the client. You pour your heart and soul into it and give them the best.
What's changed from when we were coming up in regards to like the concept of paying dues? Everything is, microwavable. People have a career in 5 minutes. What have you seen change over the past 2-3 decades?
My God, there's so much that has changed. I mean, first of all, social media has changed everything for everyone, You can be an overnight sensation if you have the right client and put them in the right outfit,
Definitely.
That's changed. I don't fight against this, but I feel I can have a bigger presence when it comes to my own personal life as far as, putting myself out there. But I still lead with work. Work still is the one thing that leads me. I feel like there's a lot of fakeness going on, with people going into stores, trying things on and posting it,
Yeah, that's crazy.
To create clout. I've even seen it myself. A lot of salespeople that I know like bitch about it,
Really? Anything you want to share?
I've shared enough, but I feel like there's a certain few that still hold their head down and do the work. And they're not looking for a pat in the back. They're making sure that their client have what they need. And I think the strong will always survive. And I think that's why I have survived this career and I still get to do it. And I think it's because I still hold my head down and I do the work.
Thanks for listening to Stories in Style. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. And check us out on YouTube at Stories in Style. We're just getting started.